Everybody wants to get rich. Everybody wants to be a millionaire. Well, is that a destination, somewhere that you just get to very easily? Is it money makes money? Well, in this video, I'm going to debunk everything you need to know to get there. The reason why I'm qualified, because at one stage, my life was very normal and I was working in a place called McDonald's. Maybe you know it. But today, I am a multi-millionaire. I work in real estate and I earn a lot more money. And a lot of people look at me and say, wow, I wish I had your lifestyle. So I'm going to be telling you everything you need to know, because a lot of you think this is by luck. You get a big fat paycheck and it's just about money. Well, it's not actually. And some of the things that you're going to do in this video is actually going to change your life if you start implementing them today. So before we get into this one, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button and leave me a comment anywhere that you didn't understand anything that I'm saying or want to find out more about. So let's get into this. Time is money. Yes, that's right. Time is the most valuable thing. A lot of people say money is the most valuable thing, but no, we're all on a sand timer. And you know what? That sand is running fast and we're getting older and older every single day. So the first thing that I would ever recommend anybody to do is get yourself a planner. Now, I'm a bit old school, so I might get a notepad and pen and write my day down, any meetings that I got happening, anything that I want to do in terms of gym regime or any coffee meetings, etc. But you might be a little bit more technical than me and might have one of these digital ones, such as Notion. And no, they're not sponsoring me, even though they should be really. But you can put in there everything that you need to do. For example, imagine you got some homework or some assessments to be signing in the evening. You literally go, right, 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock is the time that I do that. You might have 3 subjects. You might do 45 minutes per subject, 45 minutes, hour and a half, 2 hours and 15 minutes. You literally know how much time you can dedicate to every single bit of the task. Maybe you're at work and you don't know whether you should be calling out customers or if you should be serving customers out in the banking hall or on the shop floor, or if you should be stocking up. Well, create a plan for yourself. Always make sure you're making them 10, 15, 20 calls at a specific time. Then you know you've done them touch points. Always make sure you're keeping your existing relationships going. And finally, always make sure that you are looking the part. So all your brand is right, and you know, all your, whether that's your shop is full of all the products that you're promoting, you get the picture. But make sure you value your time the most. The next point I'm going to talk to you about is procrastination. Yes, you've got it. How many of you currently sit at home watching Netflix? All right, here's another one. How about how many of you spend at least 2 hours scrolling? We're all guilty of these things, but imagine what you could do in that same amount of time if you was putting that energy into something a little bit more productive. Now, you need to be a little bit more mindful, and I'd like you to set a little task for yourself right now. Write down how much time you're currently spending on these things and then slash half it. Once you do that, I promise you, your productivity will go up and you'll be doing more things than you were before. Invest in growth. What do I mean by that? Well, one of the most successful entrepreneurs and investors, Warren Buffett, actually spends 80% of his time in reading and learning new skills. So look at some of the menial tasks that you're currently doing and think, is it really worth my time? Or can you leverage something else? Maybe that's an app, or maybe that could be a software, or get somebody else to do some of these smaller tasks for you. But make sure your time is used to be the most productive. And hey, don't just believe me. We've all heard of Oprah Winfrey, right? That famous chat host who's got millions of followers online. She credits all of her success to her network. So there you go. So I've got a small challenge for you right now. I want you to attend one networking event this month and see who you can meet. Or go through your phone book and meet one positive person who you feel that can inspire you more. And remember, they're not people who are just laying down on the sofa or just scrolling or watching TV. These people are actually actively doing something. They've either got good jobs, good businesses, or they're making something of their lives. A top tip here, guys, is stop hanging around negative people. We all know who they are. They're the one who spend time talking about other people, go, hello, Julie. All right, Miriam. Yeah, you know, so-and-so did this, etc. What value is that giving you? It's all about creating that kind of space. Not people who are complaining, but people who are creating. That's who you want to be around. And don't forget to leave people behind. That's right. I know it sounds a very difficult thing to do, but remember that friend that always negative, that always complains about everything, everyone, and nothing ever goes their way. It's time to cut that person off. Honestly, I don't have nobody in my phone book or in my circle that does that, because these are the people who drag you down. These are the people who take your mind away from what you're focusing on or what direction you're going. You have to surround yourself by ambition. Ambition is that one thing of becoming something that you can't physically touch or not there yet. It's a place where you want to get. So you actually want to be around people who are where you want to be, because they will tell you all of the building blocks on how to get there. These could be people like your mentors, people who are, you know, it could be your manager at work. You're currently a normal staff member, they're a supervisor, manager, and that's where you want to go to the next level. And remember, your vibe attracts your tribe. So how you're acting, your attitude, the way that you're approachable will attract other people. If you're rude and you're negative, do you think somebody in a better position will want to help you? Imagine this. Imagine you have a little bit of superiority in terms of a little bit of power, because you know you've worked really hard for your position, and then somebody wants to learn off you. If they're not got the right attitude or they don't respect you, do you want to train them? Do you want to help them? Do you want to be with them in your spare time? Of course not. But if somebody says, wow, it's amazing what you've achieved, and they've given you a little bit of kudos, they've said, you know, I really look up to you, that's a proud feeling, and you want to give back to that person. So be that person. You need to start thinking like a boss right now. That's right, you might not be a boss right now, but there's a difference between an employee mindset and an entrepreneur mindset. An entrepreneur makes things happen. And here's the thing, when you're your own business owner, nothing is short term. Everything you do is for the long term. And why is that? Because you need to start calling people before people will start to buy. You need to start branding yourself, open up your websites, get your business cards before you even do any business. And that's not the same when you're an employee. An employee, the whole system is built out for you. You get placed somewhere and you just push that product out and start selling. So when you're an entrepreneur, you need to think with that long-term hat. And that's somebody like Jeff Bezos, for example. Do you think when he first started in one small little office and a little desk that he thought he was going to be selling to the whole world? But today he is. He thought long term when he thought that goal. So picture yourself in his mindset and know and trust the process. You're currently living beyond your means. Yes, that's right. You'll probably say, no, I'm not. It's just not happening for me. Well, have a look at your current little circle right now and think about, how much money are you spending on coffees? How much money are you spending on your lunch, snacks, even breakfast because you missed it at home? These are actually luxuries. You don't need any of this. Honestly, you'll be surprised how clever your body is on very little food. But that's not my point. My point is, you're probably spending £5 for a coffee right now. At the end of the week, that's £25. At the end of the month, that's £100. That £100 over 10 months is £1,200. Starts to add up, doesn't it? Imagine that over them 10 months, all right, call it 12 months, it's, you know, £1,400. Over 10 years, that's £14,000. I've just found you £14,000 in your habits and in your lifestyle just from one coffee a day. Now, come on guys, is that where you want to be? Imagine you put that money into the S&P 500 or an index-linked sort of stock. That's another 10% on top of that. That's £1,400 on top of that. You've saved over £15,000. That's where you want to be. So be mindful of how much you're spending on these small items. If you do like your coffee, then treat yourself. It's not a daily thing, it's a Friday thing. If you do like to have lunch outside, maybe cut it down to twice a week. Take some food from home 3 times a week. Just start today with these small things, because that's what I did to start buffering up my savings balance to then put that into an asset that then gave me a passive income. And today, I'm not even 40 years old yet, and I can afford all of these things passively without even thinking about it. And that's where you want to be. So you can do these things, just not yet. We're all thinking about investing. What should we invest in? Should we invest in that car? Should we invest in that new planner, that new iPad, that new phone? Here's one for you. Let's start with you. Start investing in yourself. And some of the most successful entrepreneurs out there currently invest 20% of all of their earnings back into themselves, whether that's a course or some audiobooks or some hard books, anything to download something they didn't know before, a new skill, something, a new path, a new strategy. Start looking at how you can implement things into your life, and don't see that as a cost. See that as a new skill in your backpack and a new tool. So when you go out to go and get something new, then you will be able to think with a totally different mind. Like I said earlier on, you only know what you know, right? So imagine going into a room and you only know one dimension of something. You can only have that one conversation. Imagine you now know how to look at that same thing in 3 different ways. You now can bring a bigger conversation. You can get a better deal done. You can conversate more on how to be more productive, for example. So I hope that really helped. And that's it for today, guys. I hope you really enjoyed this episode. Remember one thing, no matter where you start, it's not where you finish. So wherever you are right now in your journey, it doesn't mean you're always going to stay there, but it does require you to do some work to get to where you want to. I was once in McDonald's, and then in Barclays, then opening building companies. Today I'm a landlord. I have freedom of my time, passive money coming in. I never thought I was going to get here, but with perseverance, consistency, time management, network, all of the things that I've explained, my life completely changed, and it will for you too. Just make sure that you're doing everything that we've said in this video. And if this was helpful, please do leave me a comment down below, and I've got plenty of more content like this coming out very soon. So until next time, peace.